This is Ice Cream Gecko, and in today's video we're going to take a look at the Dr. Oetker Intermezzo Schinken mit Sauerrahm. I think this should be cooked ham with sour cream. And we've got some spring onions on there as well in the green. Let's take a look on the outside of this. I bought this for €1.69. This was on sale. Usually it goes for $1.99. Let's take a look at the preparation instrucciones. Let's take a look at the ingredients list as well. Pizza bread topped with sour cream sauce, smoked ham and spring onions, and it's deep frozen. Lovely. We've got a address right here where you send your angry letters to, 165 of frozen goodness grams, and the nutrition table right here. Let's open this particular bad boy up. See how it is. And this looks a lot more simple than I expected. Yeah, we've got our pizza bread, our spring onions, our smoked ham, and our sour cream sauce. That's all that's to it. It's a bit unfortunate though that the ham itself is a bit unevenly distributed, and we've got some open spots right here from the pizza bread. That's a bit unfortunate, I would say. Now let's take our measurement device, try to do our best with the measurement right here, and we are looking at just over 22 centimeters in length. I think this is shorter than the previous one. Let's take the widest part of it, measure that, 14.5 maybe. Yeah, could be it, 14.5 centimeters. Sorry if I didn't have this in focus. Now let's get this into the oven and I'll see you with the fully prepared frozen product. Well, unfrozen it is then, you know. Anyway, see you in a second. And here we are with the fully prepared product, and I've got to say that this reminds me of a Flemish cake, and not really of a pizza itself, the pizza bread. It is quite crispy, which is nice. It seems to be a bit darker than the previous intermezzos we took a look at. And it really smells like those Flemish cakes as well. Yeah, really comes rather close to it. So let's take a look at the individual toppings first. Let's take a look at the spring onions. Can we doctor some out of here? I think we will be successful with that particular task. It will take a while though. So the spring onions going in. Surprisingly, they do have a decent taste to them. They don't taste really all that fresh. Of course, they do lose quite a bit of their flavor when they lose those oils that really make them what they are. But yeah, they still have got some taste to them, which is good. Let's take a look at the smoked ham. Let's try not to get too much sauce on there. I think that's good enough. The smoked ham really tastes really good, I've got to say. Very spicy. Yeah, overall very decent, nice, and a bit of chewiness to it, nice and soft. Still got a bit of bitey texture to it, and the flavor, yeah, really decent overall, I've got to say. So now let's take a look at the sour cream sauce as well, which is the final ingredient of this, or the final, you know, bigger ingredient, the final theme of this particular product. And the sour cream isn't too sour. This could actually be a bit more, yeah, maybe a bit more spicy. They don't have put too many spices on here, it seems. Of course, we've got the spring onion right here, and the ham itself, and the sauce itself. That's a bit maybe too bland, I would say, almost. But let's see how this is all together as an actual piece that is being consumed. They call it pizza bread, but this particular bread, it doesn't taste like pizza bread at all. It's quite far away from that. With that sour cream sauce and the smoked ham and all that, that is certainly not what it reminds me of. Overall, it tastes decent though. Texture-wise, crunchiness of the bottom and the corners of it, with the sauce and the ham on top, with the spring onions. It isn't too impressive when it comes to either the ham nor the spring onions, but it's a nice homogeneous flavor, at least in the first piece of it. I'm going to finish this now as a whole, and I'll give you my verdict in just a second. The culinary masterpiece is now completely consumed, and I'm ready to give my verdict. The first impression was quite decent, everything looked alright, although we did have some things that were kind of bothersome. The ham, for example, wasn't really distributed all that evenly, and there were some islands of pizza bread in the center of the entire thing, which was a bit unfortunate. It would have been nice if they maybe coated it a bit more reliably. I guess that's down to the sauce that they're using here. Maybe that's just a bit too runny, and the dough itself is a bit too inconsistent when it comes out of the, well, first baking process. Color-wise, it was really fine. The ham looked nice and natural, so did the spring onions, and the dough itself and the sauce itself looked decent as well, so nothing to complain about, certainly. Consistency and texture-wise, same story here. Everything was as expected for the most part. Nothing really comes up when I think about it that has been worse than expected or that has been bad, just in general. So yeah, decent points in that regard. Taste-wise though, now here I've got to pull some points from the rating sheet, because while the ham itself was nice and juicy and decently tasting, so were the spring onions, they don't taste like regular fresh spring onions out of your backyard, but for frozen ones they were quite decent. But something that I do have to complain about just a little bit is that particular sour cream sauce. I wish they would have backed it up with a bit of pepper in spices, or just done something to it. It was a bit bland overall. With the pizza bread base itself, that hasn't got too much of flavor to it itself, and that rather bland sour cream sauce on top, it was left up to the ham itself and to that, you know, rather shallow flavor of the sauce to make a flavor profile of this product, to just keep it going. But it wasn't really all that successful in that regard, I think, which is a bit unfortunate. I think a bit of pepper could have gone a long way on this particular product. So the theme realization, I think I can give almost full points on that, because they've given us everything we wanted, but the execution was not right where it should have been, at least in my opinion. So on a scale from 1 to 10, we are looking at a rating of 6.07. If you've got a question or a video suggestion, leave it in the comment section down below, and if you want to see more videos just like this one, please subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope I'm going to see you soon. Until then, bye bye.